You know what I'm saying? We got Blueberry Boy, we got Blueberry Patch, we got.
No, sorry, I gotta leave. I'll be back in 3 days.
You can't leave me, Alex.
Just wait here.
Okay, I'll wait right here.
All right.
Yo. First choice fantasy, we're back, okay? And this is going to be the NFC North running backs. Last time we did the quarterbacks, tight ends, and defenses, and we got you with the running backs this time. So, also, can't ignore this part. You got a Blueberry down there. So,
yep. And I'm with him also.
In spirit, not in physicality. You know?
Yeah.
I'm literally right behind him.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Ed?
Is he trying to steal your drink?
I just did.
I know. I keep see. It's going. Alex,
get
and
off.
And his arm.
His arm. And partially his hair. But yeah, I guess we'll move forward from that and dive into these running backs after the intro, I guess. Anybody else got any statements, comments, thoughts, blueberries?
No comments, no thoughts. I don't have many of those these days.
I don't think. Too tired to think.
I just finished a Monster, so I might be a little hopped up today.
Well, that is the exact opposite of me. I am running on fumes.
You are always on fumes, Alex. Or Blueberry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's going to get confusing. To the intro.
Cut to the intro. He said,
Let's do it.
I said, baby, I am not the one to play with. Ain't the type to give up. I'm driven and motivated. I just want some recognition and some compensation. But this ain't about the money and it ain't about the fame. I got lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning now. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning now.
All right, welcome back. Got the running backs today. As we said previously, we got, players like David Montgomery, the GOAT. We got, Aaron Jones.
Shut the hell up with that nonsense.
Okay, well, let's get into Taylor Swift and all these other running backs.
Swift at 4?
Taylor Swift.
DeAndre, twins, maybe, who knows? But, yeah. So
I doubt it, but okay.
You never know, man. Genetics are
I don't know
genetics.
if you've ever seen Taylor Swift, but I'll just leave that there.
I know she's from Pennsylvania.
Her 30s or 60s. I feel like she's been around since way before I was a cognitive person.
Yeah, probably not though. But yeah.
You know what? I don't care how old she is.
We look up her age and
backs.
she's actually
24.
76 years old.
I don't think a person is older than Blueberries that is alive today, but
That's
I guess
true.
you could say that if you'd like.
Blueberries. Let's go into some blueberry history. How long have blueberries been around, Alex?
Blueberry.
So, I really thought about ranking Aaron Jones over Dalvin Cook just to be a dick, but I didn't.
All right, so you don't think that this man is going to sit out at all, right?
I'm not going to bet on it until I see otherwise.
Makes sense.
That's how I'm feeling there, too.
And as long as he's healthy, I think he's probably got the edge over Jones. I think I like Jones. I don't know if he's going to score 18 touchdowns again.
Oh, yeah, I don't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that might push him back a little bit. And Cook was more consistent, except for the end of the season when they held him out. I wonder how many fantasy championships he cost people.
I mean, he was playing Christian McCaffrey.
I'm sure he's he's real shook about costing those people their championships. I'm sure that's really weighing on his mind.
He probably got those people to the championship, and if they had Mike Boone or something like that, picked them up real quick, inserted him. Who knows? But
I have something to admit here on this podcast, and Alex, you know this story. I was faced with the decision: Le'Veon Bell or a blow-up game with Mike Boone. Back the first week, Cook was out. And they had a huge – it was this is championship. And they had a huge Thursday night game, and I went with the Boone.
The Boone.
And, Bell would have won me the game by under 0.5 points. And I lost by –
What you get for starting Mike Boone?
Yeah. I anticipated Bell to get 13 to 14 points, but that wouldn't have – I didn't think that would be enough. Well, Boone got me less. He got me less than a point.
I feel
Brandon
that
out here
last year-
destroying his own credibility.
I feel that pain because last year I had my first round playoff game or second round, I forget. And this guy's team was loaded. And I didn't think I had a chance. I mean, I was starting players like Zach Pascal and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was right there. I was right there with him. And I was like, oh, my God, it's impossible. Eckler ended up putting up like 30 points, which is, I mean, of course, Austin Eckler. But I decided to sit Jameis Winston in favor of, I think, Carson Wentz.
Oh,
It hurt me. Carson Wentz had like 9 points and Jameis Winston had like 34.
I rode Jameis
Yeah.
Winston to a fantasy championship in our league last year. So get you some of that.
I had him on my bench. So
And you know the best part was I got him in a throw-in in that trade, and I was trashed for it. Well, look how that turned out. QB6, I believe.
probably something like that, yeah.
Great investment.
Anyway, let's dive right back into these running backs.
Wide gap between Aaron Jones and D-Mont, just to piss you guys off.
I think the gap's as big as like the Chicago Bears offensive line would make like a gap for D-Mont at this point.
So about like 3.5
so that's
inches.
close. That's not a big gap.
Yeah, which is a good reason why Montgomery is getting overrated by you two. Their line sucks. He averaged 3.5 yards a carry last year. I put him at number 3 simply because of volume and because Detroit sucks the freaking life out of every running back they get their hands on.
D-Mont also lacked a lot of targets last year because Tariq Cohen and whatnot, and obviously Tariq Cohen's still there.
Tariq Cohen still plays there.
Okay, let me talk, Alex.
No.
Okay, anyway, Tariq Cohen obviously still there. They haven't talked about re-signing him or extending his contract, anything. So, what shows you their commitment to him? And then they say that David Montgomery can handle a larger workload.
The off-season talk.
He got 267 carries last year, something like that. That's insane. How are you going to give more workload to a running back? Targets. And you bring in DeFilippo. Everybody knows he likes to pass. Obviously, he's not the coordinator, but why would you bring him in? What is his point there?
Off-season
He's going to
talk.
have – how's a hiring of an offensive coach seasonal talk? You got to read the tree leaves, man, okay? So we got John DeFilippo. We got Nick Foles, okay? Say Nick Foles comes in and does something,
To be fair, DeFilippo has had no success anywhere outside of Philly.
Okay,
He got shit-canned through half a season in Minnesota, and then he left Jacksonville, pretty unceremoniously.
Okay, what does it have to do with his trends? What does it have to do with his offensive, tendencies?
Well, the Bears' offense sucks, so.
Okay, what does that matter with John DeFilippo's ability to make a pass-heavy scheme? The motherfucker Leonard Fournette had 20 targets. Last year, we talked about it before. He had
but
more
that's
targets.
why they have
He
Cohen.
had more catches this past year than targets in his first 2-3 years. And yeah, they do have Cohen. They haven't even talked about extending him yet. David Montgomery's going to have a larger workload.
Well, you put Cohen at 5, so clearly you somewhat believe in him.
Oh yeah, I somewhat believe him because a pass catcher in the backfield. One of those running backs is going to be the pass catcher in the backfield. And if you get those receiving work combined with the 260 rushing touches you already have, you're going to be an RB2, a high-end RB2. That's what I think Dave Montgomery's going to be this year. And then they bring in –
I'm skeptical.
That's fair. You can be skeptical. We all have different beliefs. David Montgomery is a good talent. He's a decent talent. Now, he's not a – I don't know if you guys –
You called him a poor man's Carlos Hyde.
You're damn straight. You're damn straight I did. But did you guys –
Now he's a high-end RB2. What's he going to be in 2 months?
I mean, I don't like
Guess
Leonard
who keeps
Fournette
finding
either.
jobs? Carlos Hyde.
This is fair. This is true.
Mm.
But
Really
with
scraping the bottom of the barrel this year.
He's relevant when he gets carries.
he was. Last year he was.
Exactly.
And in San Francisco, he was tumbling into the end zone every single week. So, I mean,
Poor
you
man's
can
Carlos
see that
Hyde is
happening with
not
David
a
Montgomery.
solid compliment. I think we can all.
Well, in his rookie year, I kind of got a little trigger happy, and I was just sending shots at everybody. I said Deontay Johnson's going to end up on a practice squad as well. So, I mean, my takes are not the best takes, obviously. Anyway, let's get back to the Chicago Bears. We got
Can we not?
they brought in Ifedi. I don't know if you guys know who that is. The tackle from the Seahawks. Alex going to say shit, but he played the best in run blocking on their entire offensive line last year. Okay, you can say that, but the numbers say otherwise as far as run blocking. So the right tackle is what was the worst on the Chicago Bears offensive line last year. They brought in a right tackle that was the best on the Seattle Seahawks offensive line in run blocking. So that could help Dave Montgomery get his 3.67
but
yards
to be
per
fair,
carry
being the
to
best
4 yards
lineman
per carry. Can I finish
on the
my sentence?
Seahawks
Can I
line
finish my
is,
sentence?
you know,
I
kind of
didn't
like
think so.
being the best room on the Titanic.
Keep
Doesn't matter.
Ed. I like this. Keep running up David Montgomery's value.
His value is going to skyrocket eventually. He's just
I
got to
think
right
it
now for me.
will.
He's a decent player. You get the opportunity, like Alex said. You get the targets. Say you get the targets without the 260 already existing carries. Leonard Fournette is not that great. Let's be real. You guys
So you think Montgomery's getting 340 touches this year?
I can see touches as far as targets and carries combined. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Targets and carries combined, I can see him getting upwards of 320. Yeah, 320 I can see him getting. And that's a pretty good amount, honestly. I mean,
That's
Leonard Fournette,
a lot.
Okay, did you expect Leonard Fournette to get 90 targets this past year?
No. I'm just saying for Montgomery. I'm not saying that's unreasonable. I'm just saying that's a lot. Which
yeah,
why I have him at 3.
And also, who else do the Bears have other than A-Rob?
A-Rob, Anthony Miller. They've got 2 tight ends. And like I said in the previous video, I expect them to run a little bit more 2 tight end sets than last year. And that's going to help the running even more. So even when say he gets more efficient and he gets, say, 10 more carries on the year. More efficiency, say he gets 4 yards per carry compared to 3.67. Obviously, I'm just reaching right here. But say that happens. That's upwards of 900 yards. Like, that's almost 1,000 yards rushing, let alone targets, receiving work, touchdowns. I think it's a possibility, a slim possibility. Obviously, my takes are pretty bad, like I said earlier. It's a slim possibility David Montgomery finishes above Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones doesn't get the 18 touchdowns,
I disagree with that.
There's a slight chance. There's definitely a slight chance. Aaron Jones had 18 touchdowns last year, okay? What happens when they use the second-round running back they drafted? Prematurely, must I say.
I don't know if they're really going to get him involved in the passing game a lot, and Aaron Jones is still the second best pass catcher on the
roster, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I feel pretty safe about that.
What about the red zone carries? Because Aaron Jones has been super efficient in the red zone. But obviously they don't really care since they brought in A.J. Dillon, who's literally just a 247-pound, 6-foot running back who literally looks like – I don't even know what he looks like. He looks like the Hulk.
I think Jones will still get his touches.
Say they end up giving A.J. Dillon the red zone work, though. That's going to take away –
I don't think they'll give him all the red zone work. Jones will still get in there.
But he's not going to get 18 touchdowns again.
I mean, Jamal Williams took some
trash
red zone looks from Aaron Jones. And you're right, he is trash.
I expect Jamal Williams to essentially sit on the bench all season. So
you spend that draft capital on essentially a Hulk, and him along with Jamal might chew away at Aaron Jones's red zone carries.
See, I don't see why the Packers would take Aaron Jones off the field in favor of Jamal freaking Williams when they already have A.J. Dillon to spell him. That just seems unlikely to me.
I don't see the point.
Poach like 10 carries a game.
I don't see the point in them drafting A.J. Dillon.
I mean, I didn't see the point of them doing that in the second round either. But I think they just did it because they want to round the ball more. I think that for them was them saying that we don't like Jamal Williams. We want a better 1-2 punch. In Jones
why would they give Jamal Williams a 50-50 split with Aaron Jones last year when you've seen Aaron Jones was truly a ton better? I mean,
Probably because there's just not a lot of teams out there that want to do that where they give their one running back every single touch. I think Jones is a smaller guy.
And if they truly didn't like Jamal Williams, the number of running backs that were out there they could have grabbed or just traded for one if they didn't like him.
There's also the Packers we're talking about. They drafted a fullback in the third round.
I'm just saying, man. It's the Packers. Yeah, you're right. It's the Packers at this point. You can't really say anything about it.
I don't think they make the smartest moves.
I don't know.
I forgot. They drafted a fullback in the third round. They drafted A.J. Dillon and Dillon. Every time I see the name, I just have to say Dillon. All right, so they got Dillon, and he was in the second, and then they get a quarterback in the first.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. That's what's confusing to me. Like that's why I said last episode it looks like they're just giving up. But sure, maybe they're just changing their ways and changing the NFL. I don't know, but it's just weird to me.
It's just hearing that aloud. Like I knew it happened. I knew the first 3 rounds of their draft, but just hearing them aloud just makes zero sense.
It's 1980 all over again for the Packers.
It doesn't make sense. What are they doing?
Yeah.
They're gonna run out there with leather helmets and.
It seems that way, yeah.
Can I just point out for a minute that the guy they drafted in the third round is technically a tight end, but I've heard a lot of people calling him a fullback, so I'm just kind of making fun of the Packers.
So he's practically a blocking tight end.
I don't really expect this guy to do all. He had I think 500 receiving yards his senior season. Sure, but I'm just here to make fun of the Packers.
A team that needs help at wide receiver. I mean, yeah, they need help at tight end, but I mean, just get yourself a Delaney Walker. You got yourself a Jimmy Graham however many years ago. So why not just get Delaney Walker and then draft a wide receiver in one of the deepest wide receiver draft classes? And
they didn't draft a single one.
It don't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
You could have traded some chump change for a wide receiver in the 6th round. Pick up a Darnell Mooney, but no, let him go to the Chicago Bears, who don't really have a need for him at this point.
But Ed, you always had love for DeAndre Swift.
Of course, I mean he's a good talent, but he's on the Lions. So
Alex said the Lions suck the life out of running backs. So, do you agree?
I mean,
I don't think you can disagree with that claim.
You can't. It's a
But do you think talent surpasses the power of the Lions?
I fucking hope so.
Maybe.
Man. I mean, I love DeAndre Swift, and if he actually does something this year, I don't see why he wouldn't be successful in the future. I mean, obviously he's not going to come on the field and be an RB1 his first year with the Detroit Lions with the terrible defense. Sure, he's going to get probably a good bit of passing work and stuff, but as far as rushing attempts and just overall opportunities, it's not going to be as high as even somebody I don't know, J.K. Dobbins. I can see J.K. Dobbins probably getting more opportunity than DeAndre Swift this year. Yeah. And obviously that hurts me a little bit because I like Swift more, but I mean,
I don't know, I don't have any stats behind this, but I feel like the Lions haven't really gotten their running backs involved in the passing game a lot.
Especially this past year. No, not at all.
Even when they had J.D. McKissick coming in, I mean, he's wide receiver, running back, hybrid type of player. And I just want to point out, I know Alex said there's a huge gap between after Aaron Jones. I think the gap comes after David Montgomery.
I agree, yeah.
Because you've got the Bears. They have Tyreek Cohen behind Montgomery. Cohen's not going to be as involved with carry-wise. As for DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson, I mean, they're both second round draft picks, weren't they both?
Yeah, Kerryon has done absolutely nothing in the NFL. It has shown a complete inability to even stay on the field.
I mean, his first year he was decent. Let's be real.
And
as a rookie, you shouldn't expect that much.
Yeah, and C.J. Anderson was taking looks from Kerryon. So I don't think the Lions really care what they have. I think they'll run both Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift.
I don't see why. I don't understand why you're talking. Them giving Anderson carries over Johnson is not an argument in favor of Kerryon.
I know it's not.
No. He's saying that the Lions aren't really they're not gonna pound the table for Kerryon Johnson to get carries week 1 as a rookie.
And that's essentially just the same as they're not going to pound the table with Swift. That's what I want to point out.
I mean, I think talent determines these things.
I mean, I don't think out of the gate it does, but
I mean, if Swift is outperforming Kerryon, I would think they'd put him on the field. That and what if Kerryon just gets hurt again?
I mean, if that happens, then yeah.
Well, obviously
they're not going to on the field.
They're not going to have Ty Johnson take snaps from Swift. Yeah. He's going to take a chip away, but he's not going to be a 50-50 split. I can see, honestly, it depends on how Swift's used to start the season. But I could see Kerryon Johnson swapping with Swift. I'm not saying Swift is worse than Kerryon Johnson. I'm not saying this or that, but I'm just saying if his opportunities are sliced down at the beginning of the season, even if he is more efficient on the ground in the receiving game, say he starts getting major work week 8, that's 7-8 weeks of actually useful fantasy points. You're a little late now. I mean, it's not too late, obviously, but I mean, your total is going to be sliced in half from what I'm expecting. Because like I would love to see DeAndre Swift used week 1. Realistically, probably not going to happen. And if he does get used, minimally, definitely minimally. But I mean, I like the talent. Terrible O-line, pass-heavy team, terrible defense, bad game script. There's not much you can really like, I guess, about this team's running backs.
That's kind of why I have Kerryon under Alexander Madison.
I mean, I wouldn't personally take a handcuff backup guy over like a guy who might.
I wouldn't roster anyone. I wouldn't roster Madison, Johnson, or Williams, and I don't know if I'd even roster Dillon.
I wouldn't, yeah.
In a standard like 6-person bench.
For mine, with Tariq at 5, that's where I'm cutting it at. I'm rostering Tariq, and then below that, it's
that's probably where I'd cut it off too, unless like I really fucked up and like just totally missed out on running backs.
Yeah, and last year with Tariq Cohen, I'm pretty sure he had Tariq Cohen in 2019 had the most receptions and targets that he's ever had in his career. And he did what with it? He didn't do much. In PPR, sure, that's something, but like even in half PPR and standard, like he was an RB3, and that's not nothing special. Like I would take him still and roster him, hoping his efficiency boosts up because he had 5.77 yards per catch in 2019. 2018, he nearly doubled that with 10.21 yards per catch on less opportunity. Now, there's a chance that he can be more efficient, like I said, but I just wouldn't. I don't know. Like I said in previous videos, and this is probably what I stand by, I'm not going to bet on efficiency. Even though I love efficiency, you can't really bet on it. It's random. Like I'd bet on opportunities, and that's the reason why I said David Montgomery could possibly finish above Aaron Jones, just because efficiency is just, I wouldn't say it's random, even though I just said it was random, but it fluctuates. Mm-hmm. It's dependent on other things. An opportunity it's a given. Like,
I mean, it's just a proven fact because even earlier we discussed, do we think Aaron Jones is going to get the same amount of touchdowns, efficiency, and we all agreed that he wasn't probably not going to get that same efficiency. Yeah. So I agree with that.
And then with Kerryon, obviously Dillon, Madison, all those other people. The only relevance that Madison and Boone will have is, I mean, they're not bad handcuffs, honestly, don't get me wrong, because you got Dalvin Cook, who's a workhorse, okay? Say he gets hurt. He
has a history of it.
Say he gets hurt mid-season, okay? You got Madison or Boone, they're probably going to take you to fantasy championship, honestly. I mean, whoever the running back is on that team, not saying Dalvin Cook's not talented, but I mean, the opportunity is going to be there. So, like, if, say Dalvin Cook gets hurt, okay, where would you guys have Madison at? Because, I mean, obviously you both like Madison over Boone. Where would you have him at on this list? I'd probably put him at 5 or 4.
If he had a whole season or half a season?
Are we talking, like – I mean, like, if you're talking the ranking once Dalvin Cook gets hurt, I would bump Jones up to 1, and I might go ahead and gamble on Madison over Montgomery. I think Madison's pretty freaking talented.
That's well. I was going to say if Madison had
if Cook gets hurt, they're going to give Madison, like, Cook's touches.
Yeah. I just don't – I mean, I liked Madison last year, and don't get me wrong, it's not like he did anything to not show promising, like, just show he's good. But I don't know. I kind of faded off on him. I don't know why.
Out of the Lions,
just a rookie fascination.
Not the Lions. The Vikings have obviously been like very committed to running the ball, and normally the running backs have had success. So I think Madison's talented. So yeah, that's why I would put him.
And I know earlier Alex had said, as of right now, he's going to rank Cook as is, and I agree. But I just like to enlighten the idea of Cook not coming back, and I could see that as a pretty good possibility, being that the Vikings have a difficult cap situation, and are they going to be willing to pay Dalvin Cook the type of money he wants paid? Their first offer was under $10 million, and that's a few $1 million off of what Cook's target is.
Yeah, didn't he say something like he wants C-Mac money, or did I just
Yeah.
read it? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of insane. I don't think
said
anybody's going to get that
Dude,
low.
I read
Yeah.
that like he'd be like thrilled with like 13,
If
That's a good
that's the
bit of
case,
money.
then sure.
and I could see the Vikings budging on something just below that and him
Yeah.
accepting that.
If he, I
That's-
mean, obviously we've seen it with like Melvin Gordon. Like the man he signed a 2-year, $10 million total contract with the Broncos. So he's making
Like
$5 million a year. Was it 16?
I thought it was 16.
Okay, so he's missing out on $2 million a year. I think. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a running back in the NFL and never will be. But I just feel like when you get that offer of $10 million plus as a running backs don't really get paid that much. Like,
no.
I don't think Dalvin Cook's made more than maybe $1.5 million a year. Obviously, I'm not going to speak on his money, but like he was drafted, second round?
Yeah.
So he didn't have that 5th-year option. So he's only had a 4-year contract. He's not making a lot of money already. Like I just see him. Obviously, he wants $13 million a year. He wants to get paid what he's worth because he's their offense. But I feel like sometimes you have to just take it. Like in his,
I think they'll probably budge on that if he stays healthy.
budge on it as far as what? Like they're gonna
like they'll probably give him a solid deal.
I mean, I see 11 being a right amount, honestly.
I think that's where it's gonna get stuck at.
Yeah.
Because Cook doesn't have much leverage because he ends up hurt, like pretty much every season.
I mean, Alex, I'm pretty sure you know about like the CBA or whatever the new guidelines are and whatnot. Like if they don't come for training camp, they'll get fined, like starting the first week of training camp or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, I don't know how that's going to work this year. Like everything's going to be different this year.
Yeah, because of the whole pandemic and whatnot. Yeah,
get complicated.
Sure. And I mean, like, I listen to other podcasts and whatnot, and somebody said that obviously the players can just come to training camp, but like stay out the regular season. Like, so they get in shape and whatnot, and just like they just back out last second, like when the team needs them most. You know what I mean? So it kind of screws the team over a good bit, obviously. But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you got to work your leverage. I don't know.
And that's that situation where like you feel for the player too, because Cook, I mean, just said he doesn't have leverage, but at the same time he's got that talent. I mean, it sucks that his body's failing him. So, I mean, me personally, I like to root for them. I think they deserve more money, especially running backs.
Especially Dalvin Cook too. I mean, he is the Vikings offense. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's kind of like running backs on the 49ers with like Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo's bad, but this man's making like big money. And you got like running backs that are like unrestricted free agents, like running your entire offense, taking you to a Super Bowl. Like what? That's just wild to me.
Twisted.
But, yes, it is what it is, though.
But if Cook doesn't show up, I would put Alexander Madison probably. I would put Alexander Madison behind Aaron Jones at 2, making Jones 1.
If Dalvin Cook was held out for the entire season.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, he probably won't hold out an entire season, but yeah, that's fair. I'm definitely putting him right below David Montgomery, just because you guys seen me.
My love is there.
It is there.
I can see that now.
I need it. I need him in Dynasty.
And that's why you were trying to get him before this podcast.
Exactly. Now my love is just out there, and I can't get him anymore. But.
I've had a similar situation. I forget who it was with. I was trying to acquire before the podcast posted. I think it could have been. I
think it was because you tried to get him right after, and you're like, "Oh, I thought I'd trade Paris Campbell." That was a big brain fart.
Yeah, those two players. I swear to God, in my mind, they're just the same person. And when I saw Zach Pascal, I was like, "Oh yeah," and then I was like, "Oh, what? No."
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
It's not.
How big a fan can you have been of Paris Campbell to get him mixed up with Zach Pascal?
Yeah.
I knew I was a fan of the not necessarily the player, but the situation.
It's just not ideal right there.
That's the blueberry whispers.
Do we have any more comments on these running backs?
The running backs, no. I'm chilling on the running backs. Jamal Williams down at 9 doesn't deserve my talk. That's harsh. I'm not going to talk about him. That's all I got to say.
Sorry, Williams. We can move on.
We appreciate you as NFL running back, but
you do your work. We're sure of that.
Yeah.
All right. Question time. Question time. Question time. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do that noise.
You can't?
I can't.
I'm not going to attempt it.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess
I could see that coming.
Yeah. Well, come on now. It's Alex. It's Blueberry, actually. I apologize.
Yeah, blueberries don't got the tongue to do that.
They can't make a raspberry sound. That's ridiculous.
Speaking of blueberry, why is it called blowing raspberries? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Blows raspberries. You ever
anyone have a question for today?
All right, just ignore me. You fucking fuck.
I just said I don't know.
All right.
That is the only answer I have.
I was in the middle of talking, Blueberry.
What is your guys' going on about dumb shit? Let's say that again.
What is your guy's favorite berry? Maybe if you weren't talking over me, you would hear.
No, I couldn't hear you because you cut out through my headphones. You jackalope.
Cantaloupe, Jack?
Jackalope.
Okay. What is your favorite berry, Blueberry?
Tough one.
I gotta go with old reliable here. Strawberry.
See,
expected.
I don't like the raw fruit of berries. I like juices or strawberry flavored whatever. So yeah, it would be strawberry flavored.
So you don't like fruits?
A nice fresh ripe strawberry is just to kill for.
Okay.
Although I really do love like eating those, like, because we get those raspberry plants around here. You know, where they grow on those thorn bushes.
Yeah,
you can just walk around the woods and just eat them by the fucking handful. Those are fantastic.
I love raspberries. Yeah, I definitely choose raspberries.
I'm a fan. The problem is that, like, when we get them at work, they're never ripe. So, like, we just get these shit-ass raspberries, and you eat them, and, like, they make you regret ever eating food in your life to begin with, and it's depressing.
Yeah. We got Mr. Fruit Disliker over there.
I will say, you guys that bring up raspberries, I do like them. I forgot about them.
Also, and blueberries are solid when they're ripe.
I hate blueberries.
Yeah,
I used to not like them, but if, like, to me, if you get them, like, in season, they're delicious. If you have them out of season, they're disgusting, and they're better served hucking at oncoming traffic.
I just don't like the texture of them. It just disgusts me. I don't know why.
Blackberries are trash.
Blackberries are fire. Don't do that. It's between blackberries and raspberries for me.
Garbage.
Strawberries.
The part about eating a blackberry is when you get these giant seeds in there, like the size of your teeth.
That's like eating fucking what are the damn things that hang on tree? Cherries. I hate them shit.
Cherries? No.
They're disgusting. Is a cherry a berry?
I don't know. You won't find an answer to that here. Brandon, what are we saying about strawberries? We've cut you off about 7 times on that.
Yeah, I was really wanting to get this across.
And we're done.
Yeah, and we're out. No, strawberries with sugar is my only way I'll eat strawberries.
That's so excessive.
Dipped in
excessive.
sugar.
It's like you're eating sugar with sugar.
You're just a product of processed food culture of America right there.
He is. He doesn't like fresh fruits. He needs to have like a strawberry flavored something.
They gotta have cookies inside of them.
Did you ever like attempt to strain strawberries to drink strawberry juice or something?
I don't think that would go very well.
I don't think I have.
I think there's a reason that you don't find like strawberry juice around.
Yeah.
Probably because it takes a lot of strawberries. Makes sense.
Because that would become the new, like,
I just think that would suck.
I mean, there are strawberry flavored things, though.
Yeah.
All right, we've done, as a human race, we have done so much more better things than straining the juices out of a strawberry. I think we could manage to do that.
We get juices out of coconuts and make coconut water, bro. Come on now. That stuff's disgusting, actually. Let's say that.
Coconut water
is not my cup of water.
You know what's gross? I was walking through the store once and I saw aloe vera water.
Yeah, I had it.
That's bad. Disgusting.
It's bad. It's bad.
You put that stuff on burns. You don't fucking drink it. Have a nutcase is like, let me buy a case of this aloe vera water.
Yeah.
It's the same type of guy to spend like $12 extra on a case of smart water. Oh,
I think it's entertaining to think of how some people like find these new things. Like how does someone just figure that out?
Can I go on a tangent here? This is
that.
a slightly unrelated tangent, but we're talking about fruits and we're talking about people's nutrition choices, so I just want to let this fly. Yes or no question. Are you pro GMO? The answer is yes before you answer anything. The answer is yes. Because for those of you who do not understand GMOs, they're great. They make your food edible. They make your food last longer. They make your food grow faster. They're fantastic. I think anyone who's anti-GMO can just get hit by a fucking rake.
Well, okay. I guess
that is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. That is some, like, I sit around my house all day and have nothing to do, so I start to bash, like, science. That to me goes into the same folder as the anti-vaccination nut jobs.
You can't understand why someone wouldn't want to do a vaccine. You can't enlighten the thought of that.
Okay.
I'm not saying I am.
Those people claim the vaccines cause autism. Those people are the same reason that you have like reemergences of diseases like measles in the last few years, because dumbasses aren't getting their kids vaccinated. And then like diseases are popping up that we haven't dealt with in years. And people are like, oh, I wonder why that's the case. Because you fucking morons.
Now, I have one last question in the show.
What's that?
Do you think we've taught more about fantasy football or GMOs and the delicious...
Problem is you can't teach people about stuff, because anyone who's anti-GMO is not going to be swayed by my opinion, unfortunately.
And you also can't teach anybody about fantasy football because everybody else pumps out the same nonsense, but we actually talk about berries and GMOs on this podcast, so I mean...
As we should. More people talk about GMOs, man. They're fantastic. You'd be amazed at the type of shit that was involved with GMOs. Like, half the vegetables that we eat are literally man-made.
What?
Okay. Have you ever eaten broccoli?
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. But yeah, go ahead.
You will never find a broccoli plant in, like, just growing out in the wild naturally, because they do not exist.
They don't. Yeah, you're right.
That is a totally man-made food. Again, genetically modified, because genetically modifying things is fantastic.
All right.
I guess
that leaves all of our 7 viewers.
They're probably like 2 people.
Very enlightened.
You have a few days to our next episode to think on this topic.
Oh, who cares? Nobody made it this far.
Blueberries aren't genetically modified, are they?
I'm sure they can be.
Nope, they aren't.
You can genetically modify like any fruit or vegetable to like grow faster, to grow bigger, to like ward off like predators and whatnot.
What? This is like a
fighting off. It's fighting off.
That's insane.
Ants.
Well, plants have defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Do you think a Venus flytrap is genetically modified, or is that just like a natural thing?
No, I'm pretty sure that that's not really a benefit to us. I think that just kind of existed.
That baffles me, to be honest with you.
It's a very hilarious plant.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Like, I love that, every other plant just kind of chills, and then we've got this plant over here that's like, you know what? I'm going to eat fruit flies.
Yeah.
All right, we trying to cut this off before we
talk about 14 other different things.
Yeah. Let's leave y'all with this, okay? Comment, like, share, subscribe.
Let's get into this part.
For you 2 people that are here, please comment. Just comment. It takes like 5 little buttons and boom. Please.
If you made it across the finish line, you're true fans, and we appreciate you. And even the ones who haven't might come back and listen. And
let's cut the BS. Cut the BS. We're out of here. Deuce.
Goodbye.